Chapter 3, here we go, self-concept. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is find the pause button. You see where that's at, right there? Okay, so I want you right now to get on a scrap piece of paper to write down a list of 10 words or phrases that describe the most important features of who you are. I don't want you to take a long time with this, just like 2 minutes or something, but just like put me on pause, right? Put me on pause and write those 10 things, and when you're done, unpause me, right? Okay. All right, so you're all done. You've got that list, right? So those are your most important things you think about yourself. Now what I want you to do is to number them, to rank them in order. Number 1 being the one thing that's the most important part of you, that if you took that away, you wouldn't be you. And down all the way through 10. Put me on pause again. Okay, you ready for that? All right, so that's your self-concept, right? That list is your self-concept, a relatively stable set of perceptions you hold about yourself. A special mirror that not only reflects physical features, but also how you view yourself emotionally, your talents, your likes, your dislikes, your values, your roles, all those things. But that's only just a partial list. If you put that in the back of your mind as we're going through this, you're gonna be like, oh, I should have written this down. Oh, why didn't I write that down? Kind of thing, right? But not every dimension of your self-concept is equally important. Self-esteem is part of the self-concept and involves evaluation of your self-worth. High or low self-esteem has a powerful effect on communication behavior. People who feel good about themselves have a positive expectation that they're going to communicate well. And though high self-esteem has obvious benefits, it doesn't guarantee interpersonal success. People that have high levels of self-esteem may think that they make better impressions on others, and they may think they have better friendships and romantic lives, but that's really not necessarily always true. There's oftentimes an inflated sense of self-worth. So self-concept develops through us. It doesn't exist at birth. It's an evolution. It's a product of our social interactions. And there's a reflective appraisal, which is a mirroring of judgments of those around a person. To the extent that you've received supportive messages, you've learned to appreciate and value yourself, and to the degree that you've received critical signals, you're likely to feel less valuable, lovable, or capable. So those positive, supportive messages are coming from your ego boosters. Those people that boost your ego, that always have your back. And those negative messages are coming from your ego busters. Those are the people that kind of kick you when you're down. So my mom is my biggest ego booster. Rarely can I do anything wrong, right? If she walked in the room and there was a body on the ground bleeding and I was holding a bloody knife over the body, she would look at me and go, Tommy, why did that person run into your knife? What happened, honey? Right? She would never even think that I would hurt somebody or kill somebody. Where my brother tends to be more of my ego buster. I can walk in and say, okay, I'm taking this class. Why I have to take a physics class, I don't know. I'm taking a physics class, but I got the highest grade on the last test. I got a 91%, the highest grade in that entire class, and I studied my butt off. And my brother would go, oh, A-? That's the best you can do? That's the difference between ego busters and ego boosters. And not everybody's always 100% ego buster, ego booster in your life, but you have to think about who are those people that really are boosting your messages. When you're not feeling 100% or you need somebody, who do you go to that's gonna just blow smoke up your butt, right? Or if you think it's like, oh, I better find the truth. Who do you go that's your ego buster that really might tell you the truth? Now, flipping the coin on that, you are certain people's ego boosters and certain people's ego busters. So you need to be aware of that. When somebody comes to you and says something and the phrase out of your mouth is a little cutting, automatically, yeah, you're their buster, right? Or if the phrase out of your mouth is just like loving and warm and flowery, it's like, oh, okay, you're just their booster. So we have these, and these people tend to be our significant other people. There are people that evaluations are especially influential. You know, there are probably people that tell you nice things about yourself or say bad things about you, and you don't care because you don't even know them. But these significant others are the people that are our ego boosters and our ego busters. And as we grow older, the power of these messages have a significance even remains. So I remember doing this lesson once, and this student raised his hand, and I knew Jose because he was in my 7th grade class, right? And I'm like, Jose, what's up? And he goes, so you were my ego booster. And I'm like, oh, thank you. That was really nice. He goes, except that one day you called me stupid. And I was like, what? And everybody in the class goes, ooh, Slezzer called him stupid. And they're like, right? Kind of thing. And I'm like, no, Jose, I called you stupid? And he's like, yeah, you called me stupid when I was in 7th grade. And I'm thinking, it's like, I would never do that. Really? So I said, tell me about it. Tell me what happened. And he goes, oh, you were up there talking about something stupid. And I'm like, yeah, probably English stuff, right? And he goes, yeah, whatever. And I was in the back with my friends, and we were like folding paper airplanes. And you said, Jose, that'd be a real stupid thing to do. I'm like, okay, Jose, I wasn't telling you you were stupid. I was saying making paper airplanes or throwing a paper airplane would be a stupid thing. It's like, oh, you were making them for your class. I'm like, regardless, still a stupid thing, but you aren't stupid. And he was like, oh, okay. So we also get our self-worth and our self-concept from social comparison. And that's how we evaluate ourselves in terms of how we compare with others. We decide if we're superior or inferior, which influences our self-esteem, similar or different, which influences our self-concept, by comparing ourselves with a reference group, people against who we evaluate our own characteristics. Young women who regularly compare themselves to ultra-thin models develop negative appraisals of their own body, in some cases leading to eating disorders. Guys, we tend to do this too, especially when you see who your ex is dating. And you're like, oh, really? She dumped me for that? What is he, 4'7"? Do you see what he's driving? I think he has a Gremlin. I don't even think they make those anymore, but he's like, I'm sure his credit card is going to bounce. Okay, right? So some characteristics of self-concept. It's subjective. The way we view ourselves may be at odds with others' perceptions and often with observable facts. People are notoriously bad judges of their own communication skills. Besides being subjective, a healthy self-concept is flexible. So people change. Shy kids can turn into outgoing adults. Our self-concept must also change to stay realistic. So, one of the things that I thought you found a little difficult was when you made your little introductory video, and I asked you to tell me two interesting things about yourself. Some of you skimmed over it totally, right? Or some of you are just like, oh, I have a family and I go to school. I mean, it's just like, okay, because that's hard to do. I remember in this class doing this, and one of the students was somebody I knew who, when she went around and she was telling me the interesting things about her, she was just like, oh, I have 4 sisters and we're very active in our church. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, next month you're going to Colorado Springs to try out for the Olympics. Really? You're not going to say that? But she was a little too shy or something, or she didn't really want to put that out there. Our self-concept also resists change. We have a tendency to keep our self-concept strong. Once it's there, we kind of even look for people to confirm it. And we're incredibly reluctant to revise a favorable self-concept. Unhappily married people. Oh yeah, I'm stuck here. I have to be. This is just my lot kind of thing. Or the girls, when you break up with a cheater, and then who you start dating? Another cheater, right? Because, that's all I deserve. Self-fulfilling prophecy is also part of this, and that is a powerful influence on our personality. A self-fulfilling prophecy occurs when a person's expectations of an event and then their subsequent behavior based on those expectations make the outcome more likely to occur than would have otherwise been true. So it has to have 4 parts. You have to hold an expectation for yourself or for somebody else. You have to behave in accordance with that expectation. The expectation has to come to pass, and then it reinforces the original expectation. So this is an example here, okay? So you read your horoscope, and your horoscope says, today you'll meet the person of your dreams, and the two of you will live happily ever after. So you believe in horoscopes. So you're like, oh my goodness. So you start making plans about how you're going to go out tonight and find your dream person. So you dress up, you groom yourself. Guys, you shower and shave. Girls, you do all your hair and makeup and everything, right? You're careful, and then you evaluate, and you look around, and you're looking at everybody and stuff, and you're attentive, you're witty, you're charming, you're delightful, and you end up meeting your dream candidate. And as a result, the person is likely to be impressed and attracted to you, and lo and behold, the two of you live happily ever after. So your conclusion? Horoscopes are right. But let's look closer at this. Step 1, your expectation. Really, that wasn't the key to the success. Although it got the ball rolling, and you'd still be single if you stayed home that evening, stage 2, behaving in accordance with the expectation, was going out on the town and acting charming. That led your dream person to be attracted to yourself. So stage 3, it's tempting to credit the horoscope with the outcome, but that's really not what happened. It's important to realize that you were responsible for bringing the prediction to pass. Hence the term self-fulfilling prophecy. The horoscope story is fictional, but research shows that self-fulfilling prophecy operates in real-life situations.